live, please try again. It said fail to go live, please try again. What's the email address that you guys wanted me to go on?
Email address is chris.robert.
That's the one I used. That's the one I used. Why does it keep kicking me out of Google Hangouts? Or I mean, my Gmail whenever I try to log in. All right. Now you guys can hear me. Can you see the screen? Can you see me? Perfect. Jill, I think you just need to try and log back in. Right on. Well, I don't know why it wasn't working before, but I apologize. And technology, huh? So Jill, if you can hear this, I think you just got to log back in, and then it should be fixed. And I don't think you can hear me. Nope, I can't hear you, Jill. I think you got to log back out and log back in. Click the original link that I sent you. And did anybody answer the poll question? All right, so let me pull this up. I'm just going to jump into the presentation. And you guys should be able to see. So thank you guys for joining us. And I do apologize for that technical inconvenience, but we got it sorted out, kind of. So Jill was going to introduce me, but obviously she's having some problems. So I'll just introduce myself. I don't know if you were on a webinar that I did with her a few months ago, but I own a company called Website in 5 Days, best-selling author. I have several digital marketing agencies, and Jill and I have been friends for a while. She's actually in my mastermind group. And today I'm super excited to teach you guys about the #1 thing that can help you become a recognized expert in your field. So thank you so much for investing in yourself. This presentation usually takes about 50 minutes, but because we're a little bit behind schedule, I'm going to try and move a little bit faster. We were going to do a poll question, and I know that Jill asked it, and she said, on a scale of 1 to 5, how interested are you in growing your business by writing your book? And it's something that I've done personally, something that we've helped people with as well, and it is the single greatest investment that you will make in your marketing. So topics for today's talk are the importance of becoming an expert, the creating a shock and awe box, and if you don't know what a shock and awe box is, I'll explain that. How to get instant respect, and this is from people who have never met you before. And then at the end, I'm going to give you our 11-step authority builder blueprint for creating and marketing your own best-selling book. And I'm going to give you exactly what it is that we do. And so take a lot of notes, and because I'm giving you my best stuff. So does this sound like you? Are you a financial advisor who's tried nearly everything but can't seem to make those big advances in your business? And I know that Jill has mentioned that a lot of the financial advisors are frustrated because, like the seminars that you were running, the dinners that you were running, they're flat out not working anymore. So we got to find a different way to attract new clients. Do you know that you got to do something to stand out from the pack, but you can't seem to get started? I know that's a problem that a lot of people have. Are you confused as to how to get more high-paying clients for your business? And do you want to learn how to get all this stuff done in the quickest and easiest way possible? Well, if this does sound like you, then you are absolutely 100% in the right place. So you have to be present to win. Make sure you pay close attention, take notes, ask questions. And I'm taking time out of my busy schedule. I normally charge $500 an hour for a consultation, but today I'm going to give you all of the goods in relation to this this tutorial. So turn off your phone, close Facebook, grab something to take notes with, and then make sure you stay until the very end, because I do have a special gift just because you invested your time and we're learning. So I'm going to give you something at the very end. So am I really this cool? These are all the media things that I've been featured on. And here's my promise. So I promise that you will have at least one huge breakthrough today that you can take and implement in your business right away, and revolutionize your practice. And if you don't have that breakthrough, I promise that I will do a 30-minute call with you to ensure that you get all this, that you get something of extreme value from this 50-minute session. So a little bit about my story, and I'm going to go through this really quickly, and I'm going to explain to you later why I'm telling my story as well. So I was born in a suburb of LA called Torrance, California. I currently live in San Diego. As a kid, I would best be described as a juvenile delinquent, and I got in with the wrong crowd, and we did all kinds of bad stuff. This is back in the early 90s, gangbanger times, and we were doing all kinds of bad stuff. So not something that I'm proud of. The only thing that saved me is that I was a really good soccer player, and so that kept me out of trouble. That was like my outlet. All my friends from that time disappeared. My best friend got shot and killed in a gang thing after high school. I went to college at UC Santa Barbara. After college, I got a sales job working for Pitney Bowes, selling the most boring office equipment on the planet. But I did very well. I became a sales manager. I was one of the youngest sales managers in the company. Everything seemed to be going well. And then it wasn't. In December of 2006, my dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he died a month later, 3 days before my 27th birthday. Then I decided to launch this soccer magazine at the worst possible time in history. And within about 18 months, I had lost everything. I was completely broke. I had alienated myself from all my friends, and I was in the darkest place of my life. And so I had to make a decision, and I decided that I was going to restart. I was going to restart my life and basically hit the restart button. So I had to go out and get a job. I got another sales job because I was always a pretty good salesperson. But I'm an entrepreneur, and we're never short on ideas. And so I needed a website, but I didn't really have any money. I didn't know how to do it myself because I'd never been like a tech guy. So I learned how to build my first website by watching online video. Or it was before YouTube, but it was the equivalent of YouTube videos. So in one weekend, I built my first website. Then I started building more. Then I got into online marketing, figuring out how to drive traffic. Then in 2012, I launched a website in 5 days. And then I wrote my first book called It's Not Just a Website, and it got to be a 6-time bestseller on Amazon. It's generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for me since I launched it 2 years ago. I've spoken at events, Startup Grind. I had this radio show on ESPN AM 1700. I've used the book to open so many doors. I actually got past the first round of Shark Tank because I gave the person who was doing the casting a copy of my book. And I've helped numerous clients to launch their book, gain instant credibility, and grow their business. The most important thing that I've ever done in my entire life, the business stuff is great, but my why, the reason why I work incredibly hard, is because I'm a mentor to this young man named Patrick. His mom died of cancer in 2012, December 8, 2012, 5 months after I was paired up with him through this mentorship program called Walk with Sally. And so everything that I do is to take care of these kids. Patrick's now 17. He's a senior. He's about as tall as me. If you look on the left, you can see that was the first day that we ever hung out. And, he was barely up to my shoulders, and now he's like as tall as me, and I'm like 6 foot tall. I think he might be 6'1" now. So into the lesson. Okay, so it's not your fault that you're not succeeding. The world is changing unbelievably fast, and your clients have access to more information, which makes it harder for you. And I'm sure that we've all experienced this before, where your clients feel like they know more than you do. And there's a saying that I heard from Gary Vaynerchuk. If you don't follow, he's just a marketing guru right now. And he says that when information is cheap, attention is expensive. And that is half the problem that you face as a business owner, is that it's very, very difficult to get people's attention because they're being pulled in so many different directions. And not all the information that they're being told is correct. Big corporations, they have teams of people managing their marketing, going out and trying to get your clients. And so how do you compete? And then on top of that, the cost to advertise are going up. There's more advertising channels. Where do you put your advertising investment? It's very difficult to try and get new clients. And for you to try and stay on top of it all is a full-time job. So here is the importance of establishing yourself as an expert in a commoditized world. And I'll use myself as an example. So website in 5 days, we build websites. I mean, it's extremely commoditized. And I tell all of our clients that a website is a commodity. You can get it anywhere. But the trick is to position yourself in a new category so that you are number one or number two in that category. So yes, you are a financial advisor. Yes, I am a website. We are a web design and marketing agency. But what we did is we positioned ourselves where yes, we build a great website. But the reason why people hire our company is because we give them a digital marketing team to manage their website, their marketing, and to help them grow their business so that our clients can focus on the things that they like and that generate revenue. And so what I did is I lead with the website brings them in, but I close with the digital marketing team that you can get for, as little as 99 bucks a month. So as a financial advisor, you need to look and see what category you can position yourself in so that you are number one or number two. Because everybody's job title, quote unquote, is commoditized. It's very rare that you can find somebody who has not been commoditized in some way, shape, or form. So brand and trademark yourself and explain who are you. Tell your story. People love the story. If you haven't heard of this book or this guy named Simon Sinek, his book is called, I think it's Start With Why, and he's got one of the most popular TED Talks on the planet. And he talks about how people buy why you do what you do and not what it is that you do. So it's extremely important that you tell your story. And going back to 2 minutes ago, I was telling my story, and I always lead with the story whenever I do any presentation, because people have to know you before they hear you. And I would say 8 times out of 10, when I do a talk, people come up to me and they don't ask me about, the digital marketing thing that I just taught them. They talk to me about, oh yeah, I really connected with your story. And that's really one of the things that helps to set me apart. And you all have to do the exact same thing. All right. So the importance of establishing, so write a book. Absolutely, it will make you an instant expert. We have a saying that salespeople have brochures and experts have books. And it doesn't matter. There is still a lot of value placed on creating a book, and not just an ebook. I'm talking about a hard copy printed book. Now you can give it to somebody and they might not read it, but they're still going to hold you in like very high esteem, because it's hard to write a book. It's hard to put out 200 plus pages or whatever talking about a subject. So you gain credibility when you are a published author. The other thing is that it's important to build a great online presence so that you have a great website, which I'm sure all of you already do, that you have your social media profiles, and then on top of that, you want to create content and not just don't just write the book and stop there. The best marketers are creating content consistently. So the thought process behind that is this. So when you walk into a bank and you open up a checking account, before you deposit any money into that account, the balance is zero, right? There's no money. It's impossible for you to withdraw anything before you deposit anything. Think about that analogy when you meet a new prospect. When you meet a new prospect, your bank account, which is, let's call them value dollars, is zero. You have not deposited any value into that person, which means that it's impossible for you to withdraw anything in the form of closing a sale. So that content that you create and put out in the world now becomes value dollars that you deposit into your prospective clients. Eventually, you will have deposited enough value into that person where then they say, great, I trust this person. I got a ton of value from all the things that they've taught me. They didn't ask for anything in return. They just kept giving me amazing information. I want to do business with this person. So that is the importance of creating really, really good content, because it starts to build trust and establishes you as an authority. And a lot of people say, well, if this is the free stuff, I can't. I mean, I am so excited to do business with this person and see, what the paid stuff is. So very, very important. Let's see. Great niche, Charles, federal employee. That's an awesome niche. Very, very easy to target those people too with advertising. All right, so creating an amazing shock and awe box. So I don't know if you all have heard of a shock and awe box in the direct response marketing world that Jill and I live in. We talk about this all the time and the importance of it. So a shock and awe box is a package that you put together that you deliver to your potential clients, and it's meant to wow them. So literally you want to send this box or package or whatever, and you want it to land on your prospect's door, door or desk, and you want them to open this thing up and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this person spent the time and energy to send me all this amazing stuff. So obviously when you have your book, you have to include your book in the shock and awe box. You want to have as many cool things as possible. And I'll show you an example of one that a financial advisor has done. You also want to have a system to send this out. So let's say you create your shock and awe box. Doesn't mean that you personally have to send it out. There are fulfillment companies that can put this whole thing together for you. So it can be CD interviews, it can be a DVD that you've created, it can be testimonial letters, it can be your book, of course, and you just basically call your fulfillment company or shoot them an email and say, here's the address, send it out. And that becomes your follow-up system. So do not be afraid to invest in the shock and awe box, because you need to look at the ROI. So if a client is worth to you $25,000 a year, I would absolutely consider, I wouldn't think twice about investing $100 in the shock and awe box when it comes to, shipping and putting it all together. So things to include your book, sales letters, testimonials, and then include something fun. One of our clients, he does business in Mexico, so he'll send them these like magic straw things that you put in milk. He sends chocolate, like little chocolates. What else is that? A bag of tortilla chips. It also says like that they are the easy button, so he has a little easy button. He puts that in the box, sends it off with all of the copies of his books. So keep it fun. So here's an example of one that I found for a financial advisor. You see the nice, it's all printed, very professionally done. It's put in a nice box. The one thing I think it's missing is something a little bit fun, and obviously this guy doesn't have a book. So you want to put that in there, because imagine this scenario. So imagine you go into a meeting with a prospective client who's probably being pitched 10 times a month by a financial advisor. And you walk into that prospect's office and you see that they've got a copy of your book on the table. And then on top of that, before you mailed off your shock and awe box with your book in it, you bookmarked a page in your own book saying, hi, John, I wrote this chapter. I thought it'd be extremely valuable to you. Check it out when you get a chance. And you walk into that meeting and your prospective client, John, says, thank you so much for sending me the book. I checked out that chapter. I really learned a lot. So what does that do to your positioning now? That puts you like way ahead of everybody else who might be trying to bring that person in as a client. And it just gives you the leg up. And remember what we said is that half the battle is getting attention. And now you've captured that person's attention. All right, so here's the gain instant respect part of it, and I'm sure it's not a surprise. It's write a book. It gives you instant credibility. You will be featured on media outlets all over the world. You can charge higher prices because you are the expert in that particular subject, and experts get paid way more than generalists. Specialists get paid way higher than generalists. Your heart surgeon is going to make way more money than your general practitioner doctor. So here's the formula for writing the book. You always want to start with an outline. So when we were kids and you're going to write a paper, you would always start with an outline. So identify your chapters, and then within your chapters, you want to identify the subtopics that you're going to cover. And it can be as simple as writing 3 paragraphs for each subtopic, and then you have your chapter. If you cannot write, so when I did my book, I actually wrote it, and I've always been a pretty talented writer. So I did my outline. I was sick at home one week, and I wrote the whole book in a week. And I did that exact same thing. So I went and I identified my chapter topic, came up with 3 or 4 subtopics, wrote 2 or 3 paragraphs for each chapter or for each subtopic within the chapter, and I banged out the book in a week. If you are capable, if you are a talented writer, then that's, I highly encourage you to write it. However, you don't have to be a good writer to be able to write a book. So the other thing that you can do is you start with your outline, then you have somebody interview you, and you talk about each of the subtopics. You record the interview, you transcribe the interview, you send that to an editor, and then you have your book done. And then you can post it to Amazon CreateSpace and get the #1 bestseller campaign, all that kind of stuff. So I want to go into specific details now about our building authority blueprint. And this is exactly what I have done and what we've done for our clients for how to do the book. So starting from nothing. So this is where you want to take some notes, by the way. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to research book topics that are already popular on Amazon. So go to Amazon and you can look at the different categories. So whether it be business or I think, what is the category? Personal finance. I think there's a personal finance category on Amazon. And look at the most popular books. So you can look at the top 100 and see what people are interested in. Because you don't want to create a book that nobody cares about. You want to create a book and take advantage of the trends that are happening. So if you want to write one of the books that I just read recently was a book it's called Tax-Free Wealth. It's it's part of the Robert Kiyosaki series. So I read that book. It was recommended to me by a friend. If your expertise is tax planning or tax strategies, but nobody in the world cares about that, then it's a bad idea to write a book on that. You want to take advantage. You want to enter the conversation that's already going on in your prospect's head. So go to Amazon, do research, look at the top 100 books and see what's popular, and then see how you can position your book to take advantage of that. Then create your book outline. So you don't have to have a working title. You don't have to just write out the chapters, the topics. It can evolve over time, but you want to have that outline. Some people call it a skeleton. Once you have the book outline, you want to write it if you're a writer, or you want to have somebody interview you and then record the interview. There's lots of free recording tools. You can use your phone to record it. There's a free software that you can download called Audacity, Audacity, and you can record using Audacity. That's what we use to record our clients. And you want to use that outline as your guide throughout that interview. Once you have that thing, and you want to record it a chapter at a time. So don't sit down and try and record your 15 chapters all at once. You want to record them in 1 chapter blocks. And the other reason why you want to do that is because you can then potentially use the audios as a giveaway. So that's another thing that you can include in your shock and awe box. So once you have that thing recorded, you want to transcribe it, send it to a transcriber. You can go online and you can just Google transcribers or go to Upwork, upwork.com, and you can just put in transcription and you can find somebody. Usually you can get it done for anywhere between like 10 to 50 cents a minute. So once you get it transcribed, then you're going to have to go find a book editor. You can use Upwork again, or maybe there's somebody in your town who's a book editor. And you're probably looking at anywhere between, I don't know, 1,500 to maybe like high-end people that are like 5,000, depending on the length of the book. So interview, record, transcribe, send it to the editor. The next thing that you want to do once you have your book, you don't even have to have it all the way done, but once you get it, I would say about 60-70% of the way done, you can start doing title testing. So if anybody's ever heard of the 4-Hour Workweek, the way that guy got the name of his book, Tim Ferriss, because the book has nothing to do with working 4 hours. The book is about outsourcing. What he did is he had a bunch of potential titles for his book, and he ran Google Ads and he said, and he put all of his Google or his titles as Google ads. And the title that got the most clicks, which means the title that got the most attention, was the 4-Hour Workweek. And that's the reason why he chose that title. So what I would recommend for you is that you do the same thing and you do title testing, only you run it on Facebook. So you go to Facebook, you identify your target client. So through Facebook advertising, you can, if your ideal client is a man between the ages of 50 to 65 who has a net worth over $1 million and lives in Ohio and loves to golf, and let's say he's, I mean, the political stuff is going all over the news media. So let's say he's a Republican. You can identify that exact person. So you can go in and you can create an ad campaign and you can test out different titles. So, 4 or 5 titles, however many you have, run the ads. Whichever title gets the most clicks, then that becomes your winner. So a couple things to think about when you're doing your titles. You want to make sure that your keyword is in the book title or the subtitle. So if your keyword is retirement planning, then you want to make sure that that is in the title or the subtitle of the book. Once you run your tests, once you have your winner, now you can do the book cover tests. And basically, you take your title, subtitle, you find a designer. You can do that also on Upwork. To create a few different versions of your book cover. 99 Designs is another place where you can get that done. I think it's like $300. And you test out different variations of the cover, and you basically just do the same thing. You take your top 5 covers, you put them, you run a Facebook campaign to your same demographic of ideal client. Whichever one gets the most clicks is your winner. So once you've done that, you get your edited book back from your ghostwriter, and then you can start this is very important. This is something that we literally just discovered, and it's golden. So you want to start reaching out to influencers who already have a relationship with your target client. So if like we're talking big name people. So I'll just use Robert Kiyosaki because I talked about him. So if your ideal client is a fan of Robert Kiyosaki, you want to send Robert Kiyosaki, you want to contact his people. You want to say, hey, I've written a book. It's my very first book. I'm very excited about it. I've been a huge fan of Robert Kiyosaki. I've bought a bunch of his products before. I've gone to his seminars, and I wanted to see if it's possible if he might be able to do the forward for my book. Most of the time they will say yes. And there's a process that you have to go through. And the reason that they say yes is because writing a book is so incredibly difficult. And people who are authors like to help out other authors. So they'll ask you to send the manuscript. They'll ask you to send a sample forward. And then you send that off, and they say, it could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months, whatever. But you want to do that for multiple people. Because if some people don't do it, you have your fallbacks. And then if they send you a forward and if you pick the best one, you can always use their forward that they wrote as an endorsement in the book. So you send that off, you wait. Now, if you don't already have a website, you want to build out your website. Or you want to build out your speaker website. So one that's specific, you have one for your company, and now you have one for you, who's the speaker, author, guru, content leader. And then you want to build out all your social media accounts, and you want to start to build that following. And you can use, a big thing that you can say is book coming. So once you get the forward and the endorsements back for your book, you put it up on Amazon. It's free to do. And then you also put a Kindle version up, and you run a Kindle promo to get bestseller status. Step 9 is you print out copies of your book. So there's local printers. Now there's digital printers. We've got one here in San Diego who will print books for you. You can always get them through Amazon, but it takes a little bit longer. I like using my local guy personally. And you include those in your shock and awe box. You can leave your book in your shock and awe box. You give copies of your book to all of your new clients, to all your new prospective clients and all your existing clients. And now what you do with your existing clients is you say, I printed my first book. Here's 5 copies. Keep one for yourself, and I would love it if you would pass out the other 4 to your friends who you think that might get some value from the book. And I guarantee you they will give away all those books because nobody wants to have all those books just sitting on their desk. The next thing that you want to do, and this is really, really important, that this is something that we just found out, is you want to run a Facebook ad campaign to all the people who have liked the person that wrote the foreword for your book. And I'm going to give you an example of how this works later. So then you want to create a follow-up email sequence and a retargeting campaign so that you're following these people online once they sign up to get a copy of your book. So Dr. Ivan Misner, who created BNI, who I've been a member of for going on 5 years now. If there's any other BNI members, thank you for joining the call. Dr. Ivan Misner wrote the foreword for my book. I ran a campaign to everybody who's liked BNI and liked Dr. Ivan Misner, because I get a lot of my website clients. A lot of them are solopreneurs who need a great website and the team to help them manage the online marketing and website. So I ran that campaign and it performed unbelievably well, better than I could have expected. So you absolutely want to use the endorsement that you get from the person who wrote the foreword and use that to connect. That's why you want to get the foreword done by somebody who's already has a relationship with your existing clients. So, and then lastly, you want to use your book to do speaking engagements, do media appearances. There's a website, it's free, it's radioguestlist.com, I think, or something like that. I'll get back to you on that one. It's like free radio guest list or something like .com or something like that. You can go there anytime you say I've released a new book or I'm the best-selling author, they will have you speak 100% of the time. So it helps if you have like a media kit on your website, or if you have your talk, like, what is your specialty? This goes back to identifying your niche. So you are the expert in X, and you just created the best-selling book titled Y, and you would love to come on and talk to the guest. So that is our Authority Builder Blueprint, 11 steps, and you will gain instant authority and connect with anybody, and it will absolutely set you apart from all of your competition. So a couple more minutes, just a reminder to stay until the very end. I got a special free gift just because you were watching. So you can do all of this. You can hire the company to do the research and write the book. That's like $10,000. You can hire Facebook ad managers to run your Facebook ads. You can go to 99 Designs, have your books cover. That's like $299. You can hire the marketing consultant to split test your ads. You personally can invest the time to reach out to all the influencers to do the foreword for your book. You can hire the web designer and developer to build out your website, social media, all this stuff. You can list your book on Amazon and do a bestseller campaign, or you can have somebody else do that for you. It's like $5,000. You can do your own shock and awe box. You can run your Facebook ads to get the leads, targeting the people who liked the person who did your foreword. You can set up your retargeting banners so that when somebody comes to your website and they leave, they start to see your banners everywhere so that you can stay top of mind. You can learn how to do all of this yourself. You can hire a company. So if you want to go look up the people who do this, Advantage Media is one. They charge, I think it's like $20,000 for the book. The Dix Nanton Celebrity Branding Agency, they're out of Florida. They charge around, I think it's $10,000 for the book. If you want to be a co-author in a book, they charge $5,000. They don't do any of the digital marketing side of it too. We have created a special Authority Builder package for financial advisors where we give you everything that I've talked about today, and you get the team to help you manage all this stuff. So let me go through some examples really quick. So this is Dr. Michael Scott. He is a holistic what do they call him? It'll come back to me. So his thing is he's got a weight loss program, and he ties it into your thyroid. So with all the chemicals that they put in the food, everybody's thyroids are out of whack, and so he can help you naturally without drugs to get your thyroid back where it is and supposed to be, so that he helps you lose weight. So here's examples of all of his social media that we created. Here's his book on Amazon. Here's the shock and awe package, part of the folder. And then here's his funnel that we mapped out, so how he gets clients. Here's another one of our clients, probably the most successful person that I know, who's written a book. So he helps people to expand their business into Mexico. This is one of his books, and through the book, he's grown his business from 0 to 160 million in about 6 years, doing logistics. This is an architect. He helps you with remodeling your home. You can see his social media pages and his YouTube. There's a copy of his book and his book on Amazon. And then this is part of his shock and awe package. So actually on the left is the folder that he now gives to all of his prospective clients. And then he also gives them a CD that goes inside this little package right there. And then there's his funnel. This is a real estate expert. There's a copy of his book, and he uses it as a lead generation tool. There's his social media. HVAC contractor, everything you need to know. What you need to know before hiring a heating and air conditioning contractor. I want to just show you guys this one because when it came, this is a good example of title testing where they had a completely different title that they wanted to use. We ran the ads on Facebook to homeowners in their area. The title that they selected was like third best, and this is the one that won. So this is the one that we chose. This is a woman who, immigration services, she helps people to get a green card, visa legally. That's part of her website, telling her story. We took her from, well, when I initially met her, she was making nothing. And then we tweaked her marketing, and she went from, the next month she did about 25,000 in sales, and she's consistently been making, you know, good 6 figures. So here's an example of the ad campaign that I ran personally. So I'm a practitioner. I never ask anybody to do anything that I have not done myself. So I ran this ad on Facebook to everybody who's liked BNI or Dr. Ivan Misner. And it says, and I quote, I use his quote in the forward, if you can read this, Dr. Ivan Misner calls this 6-time Amazon best-selling book the ultimate resource for navigating the vast world of online media and internet tools. Those are his words, not mine. So I just used his words and I ran an ad campaign. This is the landing page that we drove them to. I put another quote from him. It's not just a website, it's the essential guide to helping small business owners to get their business online and to use the internet to develop VCP, which stands for visibility, credibility, and profitability. Dr. Ivan Misner, founder of BNI. And then download this book today to discover how to use I show a copy of the book. If you can see that, I put forward by Dr. Ivan Misner. Download now. So I'm going to show the actual stats from the campaign. So we had 394 visitors to the page. We had 156 people opt in to get the copy of the book. So I added 156 leads to my business by doing this exact thing that I just taught you guys how to do. 40% conversion rate, which is unbelievable, especially for cold traffic. So these are people who never knew who I was before, but I leveraged the forward and the relationship that Dr. Ivan Misner had with these people, and we were able to convert 40%. These are numbers that people do not see anymore. You see those numbers. You saw those numbers 15 years ago when the internet was starting and internet marketers were just starting to give away ebooks. You don't see these results anymore. But what we discovered is that this is clearly working really, really well. So here's what I have for you all today. We'll research the topics for the book. We'll create your book outline. We'll do the interview of you. If you are not a writer, we'll transcribe the interview. We'll edit it. We'll format it for print. We'll do the title testing for Facebook. We'll design the book covers and run the cover test. We will research and contact your influencers for you, the people who have the relationships with your target client, and we will ask them to do the forward for you. We'll do that all for you. We will build out your website if you need a new website. If you don't, then we can tweak the existing one. We'll create your social media accounts, start the marketing. We'll list your book on Amazon. We'll run the bestseller campaign, and we guarantee that you will get bestseller status. Run a Facebook ad campaign to all the people who've liked the person that wrote the forward for your book, just like what I did. So we can do all the lead generation to cold traffic using your book. We will create a follow-up email sequence and retargeting banners to follow each of these potential clients around and nurture them so that you get touches with them automatically. So once we draw these people in to your lead generation campaign, you giving away the copy of the book, and we're going to follow them around so that they see you every day for the next 60 to 90 days. And this also includes your advertising spend to run the whole campaign. So the total package value, $41,900. We're going to give this to you for just one investment of $19,997. The weight, I'm actually going to cut that in half. One investment of $9,997, or 4 payments of $2,997. So what this means, you get everything that I taught you guys today for 75% less than you going out and piecing it together. You have one point of contact. You don't have to deal with multiple vendors. This is a turnkey solution for you, and it's a full authority building digital marketing system for your financial advisory practice. So there is a huge bonus though that I want to throw in. So on top of this, we will actually create and design your shock and awe box that you send out to your clients. So we will advise you on what we think you should put in. We will design it. We will set up the fulfillment house. If you want to go to a fulfillment house, we will send them all the artwork, everything, so that you have that one-click shock and awe box goes out to every single client. That's a $3,000 value. All this is backed by our 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'm only doing this for 5 people, and we're only doing it to 1 financial advisor per city. So if there's 2 people from Los Angeles, the person who gets to us first, or that we feel when we look at the application that we feel is the best fit, that's the person that we're going to go for. So here's some frequently asked questions. Can I write certain sections of the book? Absolutely. If there are certain parts that you want to write, absolutely write them out. We're going to go over the book outline with you, and if you identify certain things that you want to write, then absolutely go ahead and do that. Will I see the book before it's published? Absolutely. You'll see the manuscript. You'll have an opportunity to make edits, and then you give us the green light once you're ready to have it published and go on Amazon. Who ghostwrites the book? We have 17 writers that we use to ghostwrite our books. How soon can I have the book in my hands? A lot of that depends on you. So we'll give you the book outline, and you're going to have to get back to us and say this is good, and then it's a matter of scheduling. So when can we do the interviews with you? We can usually record about 2 chapters in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if you have, simple math, let's say it's 2 hours for every 2 chapters. If you have 10 chapters in your book, it's going to take us about 5 sessions, 10 hours to record. Then we have to send it to the ghostwriter. If you want to put a rush on it and you move quickly, then we can move quickly. But typically, we see the book come out around month 6 or 7. But if you want to move fast, then we'll move fast. Is there anything that isn't included? No. Well, the only thing that isn't included is that when you want to print more copies of the book. So we're going to give you 10 copies of your book included in the package. And then if you want to print more, which I highly suggest you do, well, you can use our local printer here in San Diego. You can go to Amazon CreateSpace. You'll have the files to be able to do that. So that's really the only thing that isn't included. We include the advertising spend to do your lead generation in this campaign, which is huge. How do we get through compliance? So just like what Jill does with the compliance department is, we just submit it, wait for them to come back. Not a big deal. And then what is the process to get started? And I'm going to explain that to you in 1 second. So just to review, here are everything that's included in this Authority Builder Elite package. So we are going to research the book topics. We're going to create your book outline. We're going to interview you, transcribe it, do the whole book. Title testing for Facebook, cover testing on Facebook to your ideal clients. We're going to reach out to your influencers and ask them to do the forward for your book. We're going to build out your website, so if you need it, social media accounts. We're going to start marketing that and building your following. We're going to guarantee you bestseller status on Amazon. We're going to run a Facebook ad campaign to the people who've liked the person that wrote the forward, to do a lead generation campaign, build out your email sequence through retargeting banners to follow people around. And like I said, all of this does include the advertising spend. Total package value, $41,900. And we're going to give this to you for $9,997, or 4 payments of $2,997. And 30-day money-back guarantee. And of course, that includes the shock and awe, where we're going to do the shock and awe box for you. Okay, so here's what you got to do if you're interested in this package. is go to websiteinfivedays.com/authority and fill out, there's an application. I think it's 5 or 6 questions. Simply fill it out. Give us a little bit of information about your business, what you want to write about, what makes you different. And then we'll review the applications. We're only taking 5 people on this. So it's going to come down to first come, first serve, and then who we feel is going to be the best fit. So application deadline is October 31st, 2016. So you have a couple weeks to think about it. But again, once the 5 people sign up, then that's it. And lastly, just as a free gift to thank you for staying on, I'm going to give you my best-selling book blueprint PDF. So just email me at chris@websiteinfivedays.com. And I will, in my best-selling book blueprint, I have the sample outline that I use for my book and that we use for our clients. I give you step-by-step instructions about how to get the thing on Amazon, how to run your bestseller campaign, how to get your Kindle version done. So I'm giving you the blueprint that I use to get my book to be a bestseller on Amazon. And so if you just email me at chris@websiteinfivedays.com, then I will be more than happy to get that to you. So let's go back, and I'm going to put let's go. So the website link to apply for this Authority Builder Elite Package Special, I just put it in the chat. And are there any questions that anybody has before? Cool story. I'm not sure, but I want to let me just review the questions. So Charles had some good questions. Faith-based Christian, that's a great niche. Very easy to target. Tim, if you wanted to target, you know, somebody who I listen to on a daily basis. Let's see. Charles is there. Tim, thanks so much for requesting the blueprint. I'll send that right over. All right. Awesome. Well, if there's no other questions, then we'll give it a couple more minutes and getting you out of here right on time. I do apologize again for the beginning when we had those technical difficulties. It's the joy of technology. Jill, did you have any other questions? Thank you, Tim. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for investing in yourself, and I hope you learned something. Like I said, if you didn't get that breakthrough, email me. We'll do a 30-minute call, talk about anything that you want. And then email me for the best-selling book blueprint. And then, of course, the link for applying for the Authority Builder Elite program is on the screen. So with that being said, have a great day, everybody. And I hope to hear from you soon. What's up, Jill?
Hello.
How's it going?
Weird. I can see you, but you're not speaking on screen. That's so weird.
Oh. Well, I just ended it.
There's a delay, that's why.
So I ended the call.